Welcome to Flip Lessons with Mr. Keelan. This lesson's topic is the Electoral College. Welcome to Lesson 3 on how to become the President of the United States. Today we're going to talk about the presidential election process, specifically the Electoral College, and how one is elected President of the United States on Election Day every 4 years. My objective for you is to be able to explain the basics on the rules of the Electoral College. It's a complex system, but if I want you to at least be able to explain the basics. How are electoral votes determined? What determines who gets the electoral votes for each state? Then lastly, I want you to analyze the pros and cons of the U.S. Electoral College system and what your overall opinion is of it. So, if you look here you see a map of the United States, and you can see it's very colorful. There's shades of dark red, shades of dark blue, light red, light blue. And then there's those weird states that are tan, beige. These states are called swing states. Swing states meaning that they could swing either the Republicans or the Democrats. If you look at the dark blue, or any of the blue states are typically states that lean towards the Democratic Party. The states that are red typically lean towards the Republican Party. So if you look, you can see that each state has a certain number, a number written underneath its or next to its abbreviation. That's how many electoral votes it has. So if you look, states that we know have a big population, like California, have a bigger number. States that have a smaller population, like South Dakota, have a smaller number. The bigger the state, the bigger the number. Not in terms of territory, but in terms of population. Keep this map in mind, and particularly those tannish, yellowish, beigeish swing states, or as I like to call them, purple states, neither red nor blue, mix of both. As we get through the process, they will be very important. So now we've gotten to step 5, Election Day! Yay! Typically, Election Day for the President of the United States is held every 4 years, the first Tuesday of November. It's always on a leap year. It won't be the first Tuesday if the first day of November is a Tuesday. Then it'll be the second Tuesday. But other than that, it's usually the first Tuesday in November. State by state, throughout the United States, within all 50 states and in every territory, there is a popular vote election for President and Vice President of the United States. You cannot vote for one from one party and the other. When you vote for the Democratic President, you also vote for the Democratic Vice President. You can't vote separately. You can't say, you know what, I like that nominee from the Republican side for President, but I really like the Vice Presidential candidate from the Democrats. They go together. Now, even though we do have a popular vote state by state, and we count the popular vote numbers. Popular vote, remember, means the actual number of people who vote. So, this popular vote is actually for electors. What are electors? These are people that actually get to go and vote for the president. We don't get to truly vote. We get to vote for the electors. And then those electors are the ones who vote for the president. So, what is this? This is a system developed called the Electoral College. Each state has a number of electors based on its total population or total representation in Congress. So, New Jersey has 12 members in the House of Representatives and 2 U.S. senators. 12 plus 2 equals 14. So, if you looked on the previous map, it showed California having 55 electoral votes. Well, that's because they have 53 members of the House of Representatives and 2 senators. If you look at states with small populations like Wyoming, they have two members of the U.S. Senate and only one member of the House of Representatives because their population is so small. There are 538 total electoral votes because, remember, territories also get to vote for president, like Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. In order to win the presidency, you need a majority of those electors. Currently, that number is 270. So when you were watching, the coverage leading up to the presidential election, you're going to see that 270, the race to 270, that 270 majority vote is very, very important in determining who's going to get the presidency. Now, what's really fun is that each state, the Electoral College is a winner-take-all, or almost every state. It's a winner-take-all. So let's just say candidate A in California gets 5 million votes. Candidate B has 5,000,001 votes. Only one more person voted for candidate B. Oh, geez, that's a very small number. One person. Basically, half of the state voted for candidate A. So did they get half of the Electoral College votes? Half of the electors? Nope. It's winner take all. So even though candidate A had half the vote, they get no Electoral College votes. Candidate B gets all 55 Electoral College votes. It's winner take all in every state with the exception being Nebraska and Maine.